Hi, hello everyone. In this lecture, we'll understand about data type and what are the various data types that are available in SQL. So let's get started. In previous lecture, we have understood what data is. If you remember, data is nothing but a raw information. Anything with numbers, text can be a data. Your age, salary, name, everything comes under data. We have also learned there are various forms of storing data, and one such form is a table. Again, a table is nothing but a structured form of storing data in the form of rows and columns. In previous lecture, we have understood a table with a simple example. We have taken student table as an example. We will try considering using the same student table to understand data type as well. So we have a student table, and inside a student table we have various columns like age, ID, name, and percentage. In ID we have all student IDs. In name we have all names of the students. In age we have age of the student, and in percentage we have the percentage the student has scored. If you see here, in ID we are trying to specify, or we are trying to add only numbers, numerical data. Similarly in age as well, we have all numbers, integers inside the ID column. Next we have name. In name we have character data. Okay, name is nothing but a series of characters. Again in percentage we have a decimal value. If you see here, in each column we have a specific type of data. Like ID has all integer or numeric data, name has character data, and percentage has decimal data. So similarly, from this you can understand what data type is. A data type defines the kind of value a column can store in a table. Okay, it is nothing but what is a data type? Data type is equal to a kind of a data a column can store. ID can store all the numeric value, name can store all the character value, and so on. It tells SQL how much space to allocate and what operations are allowed. So let me just give you an example for this statement. You might have used forms in your daily life. At some or the other point, you might have entered data in forms. If you see in names, only a specific data type is allowed, which is nothing but characters. You can only enter characters in the name column. Okay, you cannot give numbers like 1, 2, 3, XYZ. That is not allowed. If your name is XYZ, you're only supposed to enter XYZ. Similarly, when you go into the address bar, after entering certain number of characters, it will not allow you to enter furthermore. You have to proceed to the address line bar 2, and you have to start typing your address again. That means only a certain number of characters are allowed in address line 1. So here we are trying to allocate space. So if you understand here, we are trying to allocate some space, and which will allow only certain number of characters to fill inside that column. So we can achieve that as well in SQL. So now that we have understood what data type is, we'll understand why data type is important. First is prevent wrong data entry. As I have mentioned before, in ID column, you cannot go and type text, okay? And for example, in name, you cannot go and type ID of the student. It improves performance and it saves memory. As I have told you, when you are trying to allocate certain characters in a particular column, you are trying to save memory. It ensures accurate calculations, make database efficient and reliable. So if you remember from a previous lecture, I have described an analogy about cupboards, your way of organizing your clothes inside a cupboard. So if table is considered as a cupboard, and each shelf, okay, is a column, and in each shelf we store different type of clothing items like t-shirts, shirts, trousers. Similarly, in each column we can store only a specific type of data. And like for example, you have a shoe box, okay, shoe rack. You cannot go store water inside that, right? You can only store shoes, or you can only organize shoes inside your shoe rack. Similarly, you cannot store text in any integer column. Now we'll understand what are the various data types that are available in SQL. There are 5 data types that are available in SQL: numeric, string or character data type, date and time data types, boolean data types, and special data types. So let us understand each in deep. First one is numeric data type. From name you can understand it deals with numbers. We have 4 different types: int, big int, decimal, and float. So int is like when you're dealing with whole numbers like age. Okay, your age as a whole number. Any quantity related things you can use integer. Like um, example could be age. Next is begin. When you are dealing with large number, a country's population, something like that, which is billions, you can use begin. And decimal is nothing but an exact decimal. Like it could be a price of an item, salary. For example, considering that you have bought something from the store, a price it charges 85 rupees and 95 paise. So you want the exact value. For that, you can use decimal data type. Similarly, if you want salary should also be accurate, so you can use decimal data type. Next is float. Float is like an approximate decimal. You know, a pi value is 3.2479 something like that, and for scientific calculation we would only use 3.24 something like an approximate decimal is considered. In such case you can use float data type. Example, any scientific values you want to consider, you can use float data type. Next is string or character data type. There are again three types: char, varchar and text. Character is nothing but when you have fixed length. For example, you have a country code, India, US, UK. If you see, nothing exceeds beyond 5 characters. So in such case, when we know, okay, we have only 5 characters inside this column, you have a fixed length for that particular thing, you can go with character data type. Next is varchar. It is like a variable length. Example, your name or address bar, like it can change. We can have 50, we can have 60. Your name can be 15 characters, my name can be only 5 characters. So in this case, we don't have a specific value. So in such case, for variable length, you can try using varchar. Next is text. This is for long text. You can use it for feedback or remarks, something like that. Next comes date and time data types. It deals with date and time. Okay, so we have 4 different types here: date, time, date time, and timestamp. Date is like a date of birth, only date. You want only specific date at 1904, 2008, something like that. You can use date. Next is time. Time is for only a specific time. For example, you are a employee and your company stores a data in your employee table. It contains a column called as a login time. So inside that, you would specify a data type as login time, which is time. This is data time. When you want both date plus time, like order time. For example, you are trying to order an item from Swiggy or Zomato, and it will try helping you. When you go to the orders, it will say on which date you have ordered and at what time you have ordered and what date it got delivered, something like that. So for that, you can use date and time. Next is timestamp. Timestamp is nothing but created the current date and time. It will give the exact date and time. For that, you can use timestamp. Next is Boolean data type. Boolean data type is nothing but true or false, like yes or no. You can use Boolean data type. Next is binary or special data types. We have three of such. One is enum, blob, and JSON. For example, for gender, you can use enum. We can choose anything from these 3 options: male, female, and others. For blob, we have, for example, any pictures you're trying to store files or images, you can use blob. Next is JSON. Any structured data, key value pairs, you can use JSON. So write data type is equal to write data handling. So when you try to specify write data, you're trying to handle particular data in that particular column. So yeah, that is the reason why data type is important, and we will understand with the example query now. In the previous lecture, I have showed you sample queries. If you remember, we are trying to create a table here, and this table is of students table, and here ID. Okay, if you see ID is of int, we are trying to specify that this ID column will be of integer data type. Next is name. Name will be of character data type, which is varchar, because name can have variable length. Like it can have 5, 10, 15, 20 characters. At max, it will try to allow only 20 characters. Again, age can be of integer. Next is city. City is of varchar 20. Again, it can change. Example, we will also try considering another table called employee. Okay, we have employee ID here, which will remain same. Name again. Next, salary. Next, joining date. Next, is active. is active is something like whether he is available or not. We'll see. ID comes under int. We can use integer data type. Name, again we can use varchar. Salary is like it's a fixed length, right? So we will use a decimal. We want an accurate value. Next is joining date. Joining date, what we can use, date. Next is active, yes or no, something like that, right? We can use boolean. Okay. For example, he also has something called gender. We can use special data type, which is enum. Okay. So if you want to write a query for this, how would you do it? I would go and write like create table name is sorry. I would go write create table. Table name is employee and ID we will give as int. Okay. Name obviously we'll give it as varchar 20. Next salary. Okay, salary what we would give? Salary would be decimal. Then comma 5. Next is joining date. For joining date we will give it as date. Next is active. Then next we will give it as gender. Type is, this is boolean. This is enum data type. Okay, this is how we will try to create a table. This will create a table with ID, name, salary, joining date, all of the columns. I hope you have understood what data type is actually about, and with this example, I think you can understand and you can start writing queries. Take any sample data, any sample small table and start writing queries. You can initially try to create a table, understand different data types and start writing a sample query. I hope you found this lecture helpful. We'll discuss about other things in future videos. Until then, keep learning and keep exploring. Bye bye.